You're watching SportsBeat.
All right, the Utah Jazz introduced their two major offseason additions on Monday in Las Vegas. Adding Mike Conley Jr. and Bojan Bogdanovich to the roster has made the Jazz a championship contender.
Yeah, the Jazz definitely, they didn't sit back this offseason at all, and it all started with that big trade to get Conley. It was almost like Conley was prepared for this, of course, 6 months ago. Before the trade deadline, his name had come up in trade talks with the Jazz, but a deal never worked itself out at that time. So when it became official earlier this month, Conley was ready to leave the only NBA home he had known and start again here in Utah.
It kind of got me prepared, just the opportunity knowing that it was possible. I didn't know if it was going to happen in February or not, but after the deadline passed, I knew that things would pick up again. And so my mind was already thinking of, what it would be like to live here or there. And Utah obviously was at the forefront of the trade discussion. So I was just kind of preparing myself for it. And now I'm just ready to live it.
This move will be a leap of faith, and faith is very important to Mike Conley. An active Christian, he recently won the NBA's Teammate of the Year in Sportsmanship Awards. He's never had a technical foul in his 12-year NBA career. Relying on faith helped Mike get through the transition of getting traded for the first time in his NBA career.
Faith is big in our family, and for me, I was never able to get distracted with all the things that were going on last season, strictly because of that foundation. I never felt discouraged. I'm the type of person that always thinks that it's going to work out regardless of situation, and things are put on people's table for a reason. And ultimately, full circle, I'm here. It didn't work out in February, but made it here, and it's going to be a great place for my family and I. My kids are in Salt Lake right now, my wife, so they're getting used to it as well. So we're all just very excited.
Well, when Bojan Bogdanovich signed with the Jazz, it wasn't like he was going with the only team that had offered him. He had options, including staying with the Pacers. He said he really wanted to stay in Indianapolis until that call came from the Jazz. One look at the team and the decision became an easier one.
When I have a call from a Jazz and I saw the roster that we have right now with Mike, Mitchell, and great group of guys, great mix of young and veteran players, it make me so excited, and I was so happy to have that call and be part of this organization and culture.
Well, both players are excited to be coached by Quinn Snyder and play in his system. Bojan and Mike had a chance to explain why the Jazz system will be a perfect fit for the skills that they possess.
Jazz has been one of the best team moving the ball offensively, and one of the best ranking teams defensively. So coach is excited like we are. We got, like I said before, pretty deep roster. There is many rotation and many combination that he can use during the game. So it's going to be really fun for all of us.
There's a lot of wiggle room. You can do a lot of things with the roster that's in place, and as deep as we are, I think we'll have a lot of room to improve throughout the season. But the spacing, the offense, the defense, all the things that will be keys for us throughout the year, I think it's going to make us who we are, and we're just excited to get involved in that, be a part of that, just be a cog in that wheel, and just get this thing going.
Well, there's no doubting the Jazz meant business this offseason, which was a big selling point in free agency. The Jazz, they're not sitting back and waiting. They're leading the charge to build a championship contender. It's one reason why the new additions, including Conley, are excited to be here in Utah.
It's all you really want, as an NBA player, is to be able to compete at a high level every night and give yourself opportunities to do great things. Unfortunately for me, the last few seasons, we didn't really have that opportunity. And regardless of that, I think that was the more trying time in my career, being able to stay locked in and stay focused through a situation where we knew we weren't, going to have opportunity to play in the playoffs and stuff like that. So right now, it's just a breath of fresh air. It's a shot in the arm, and just really ready to go.
Now that the Golden State Warriors dynasty looks to be coming to an end, the NBA championship next year seems more wide open than ever. There's really no super team in the NBA right now. Parity is back. 12 teams have a shot at a title. Why not the Jazz?
The whole league feels that there's opportunity for everybody, but our goals, is going to be day to day, trying to get in the mud and work, because we don't know what it takes to win a championship yet. As we go through the journey, we're going to learn together and fight together. Lose, win, all the things that come into play during the season, to hopefully have that opportunity to compete at that level at the end of the year. So we're going to be, just working and grinding like we expect to do, and we'll see what happens as the season goes on.
How do you not love what the Jazz are doing? You've got two of the best players in the league with Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert. You've got a great coach that players want to work hard for, and now you've got outstanding offseason additions that make the team even better. The bar, it's been raised in Utah, and the Jazz front office, they're not afraid to back down.
We want to put the most competitive team out there that we can. Adding the right character, the right talent, having a great coach who can put all of this together. We embrace the expectations because we're trying to field the most competitive team that we can in a pursuit for a championship. Again, we'll embrace everything because we're here to compete.
And we've seen Mike and Donovan Mitchell already working out together in Los Angeles back in June. And I had a chance to ask Mike what he learned about Donovan Mitchell from those workouts.
I'm really just impressed at, how mature he is for a guy in his situation. He's, a face of the franchise. He's, has everything at his feet, but he's willing to learn. He's willing to get better. He's a lot more athletic than me right now, but it's just fun to see a guy like that just do the things he can do with the basketball, but really pay attention to the details. You don't find that in a lot of young guys, and he's going to be special. He already is, but he's going to be really, really good in this league.
All right, BYU and Utah kick off the college football season in just 45 days. Who's counting, though, right? You know what, Sam? I think it's time for us to start our college football previews. What do you think?
That's a great idea. Why wait? Let's start with the 2019 BYU preview on Saturday.
Escapes another. He will take off, get up in the air, and stay on his feet. Oh, my goodness. Rumble, young man, rumble.
Our college football preview series begins Saturday, July 20th at 6 p.m. on KSL. We'll start with the Cougars, and that'll be followed by the Utes and Aggies. And an in-depth look on Saturday at the Cougars' offense and defense, the development of Zach Wilson as a quarterback, and the most challenging schedule in school history, including the big game with the Utes on August 29th. A half-hour BYU football preview. It's next Saturday at 6 p.m. All right. Time to pay some bills. When we come back, let's get to know Mike Conley and Bojan Bogdonavic a little bit better.
Yeah, Bojan explains why he chose the Utah Jazz in free agency.
It was emotional at first. When it first happened, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, Mike Conley also on his reaction to getting traded to Utah, his tour of Salt Lake City, and his thoughts on the roster the Jazz have put together this offseason.
She's just been an inspiration all through their journey.
The U.S. women's national team was welcomed back to the States the best way New York knows how to. Ticker tape parade. KSL Sports was there for the parade, and we'll have more from that coming up next.
You're watching SportsBeat.
Well, if you're a Utah Jazz fan and you haven't enjoyed this offseason, which I would find hard to believe, well, you better get your pulse checked.
For sure, yeah, you might have a problem. I had a chance to visit with Mike Conley on Monday in Las Vegas. I asked him about his first impressions of Utah and the Jazz basketball facility, his reaction to getting traded to Utah, and his thoughts on the roster the Jazz have built this summer.
It's just been a phenomenal offseason, and I think that the way that it all played out with me getting traded when I did right before the draft, I think really helped, kind of like Dennis was saying, just kind of expedite and accelerate a little bit and give, Bogey something to look at, give the other guys something to look at when they're looking for places to call home and to compete at it. So just excited to be a part of the plan, and it's going to be something special, I think.
What was it like for you emotionally to be traded for the first time, and what was your thoughts when you heard you were coming to Utah?
Yeah, it was emotional at first. When it first happened, I couldn't believe it. I didn't believe it was real. I was just like, I don't even know how to act. I kind of just sat in the car with my father and just, was quiet for a second and sat back and started thinking about all the years, that you've had, all the ups and downs, things that you went through. And you sit there for about 20 minutes, and then after that, I started thinking about all the possibilities going forward and got super excited, so I just thank Memphis for everything. They made me who I am, and now I have opportunity to bring that to Utah. I feel like I fit in really seamlessly because it reminds me of a little bit of my teams in Memphis when we were playing the defense that we played, but with just a little bit more offense, I think. And with guys like Donovan, unique talent that I don't think that a lot of guys don't get the opportunity to play with a guy like that. Is going to make a lot of things a lot easier for me, a lot of things easier for everybody else, and the way I play, my DNA, the defense and offense is just as important to me. So I'm going to fit in pretty good.
One of my favorite things is watching that clip of them working out together, seeing Donovan go offhand floater, because that's what Mike Conley is probably most known for in the league. For a guy as explosive and athletic as you are, if you start to add that part of the game, then you become a real problem.
We all know what he can do now, but the sky's the limit. He can be so much better, and that's the scary thing about it. He has a lot of room to improve in a lot of different areas, and he knows that, and that's the most important thing. It's not just us telling him, you need to work on a floater, or you need to work on, passing out of a double team or whatever it may be. He's actively reaching out, saying like, oh, how do I get that, or how do I get that? Because he's ready to make that next jump, and he wants to be that guy, and that's the most impressive thing, that he has that mentality.
Conley to the rim. Gobert says, no, not right now.
It'd be nice to play with Rudy instead of against him.
Oh, it's the best. I tell him, I've seen him, a couple times here in Vegas and a few times before in LA, and first thing I said was like, I'm just so happy I don't have to play against you, because nights were very hard because you couldn't find any room in the paint, and that's where I like to work a lot. So
We shouldn't have to flip.
he's great. He's great. I love him. He's like I said, he's a guy that's ready to challenge all of us every day, I'm sure. And just talking X's and O's. I made the mistake of asking a question one day about a defensive call or something like that, and he went on long laundry list of just things. I was like, I'm not prepared for that yet. Yeah, so but yeah, he seems very detail oriented, and it's going to be key, for good teams to be good. You have to have that kind of leadership.
What's your first impressions of Salt Lake City? Obviously, you've been on road trips, but to actually know this is my home, and also the facilities as well, as you're trying to get acclimated. What was it like?
Well, first, the city is unbelievable. I've obviously played there many times, but I don't ever go out of my room on the road, regardless of where I'm at. So I never got to see the city at all, and just being there the last few days, just blown away. We had a great day, great weather. I didn't know it was as hot in the summer as it was, but fantastic. But people are great. I got to meet a lot of fans and diehard fans, and the practice facility is one of a kind in my eyes. I walked in there and I'm taking videos and pictures, and I'm asking what is that? Like, what kind of machine is that? Like, and I've never seen some of the things in there. Obviously, they've put a lot of money into committing to this organization and the team and the players. So I'm just excited.
Mike Conley. I really do appreciate it. And Utah, man, I'm looking forward to it. Let's go do something special. So.
We all see that it's an opportunity for all of us that have that aspiration. We all want to win a championship, and we all, especially myself, it's something I've been, looking for my whole career, and have gotten close and never been able to push through. And now it seems like it's the time. This year especially, there's not too many teams with three, big-time top 5, top 10 guys on the team. It's kind of split up. So. It's a great opportunity for the Jazz to just be ourselves and continue to improve as the season goes on, and we'll be there at the end of the year, knocking at the door.
Excited to see him play here. All right, he's going head-to-head with Utes' newly promoted special teams coordinator Sharrieff Shah. How's Tom Hackett going to do in this week's edition of the Hallowed Grounds? That's coming up. So the offseason started with the big Conley trade, and the excitement only accelerated from there when they inked Bojan Bogdanovich in free agency.
I had a chance to visit with Bojan and ask him about turning pro at 15, his fit in the Jazz offense, and why he left Indiana for Utah.
Sure, you had other free agent options, and a lot of teams were interested in you. What stood out about this opportunity in this organization that allowed you to come to this decision so quickly?
I mean, seeing Mike Donovan and Rudy over there, and seeing that Jazz is contender every single year makes my decision so easy and quick.
As you look at this offense and what Quinn Snyder does offensively, why do you feel it's a good fit for you and your game?
Because Jazz been a team that always move the ball pretty well. I know that they needed some good three-point shooters, so I hope that I will keep my game on a high level. And like I mentioned before, there's so many combinations. We can play small, big, so it's gonna be fun for all of us.
Bogdanovich lets it fly and hits again. He's 3 for 3 from downtown.
What type of player are the Jazz getting in Bojan Bogdanovich?
And Bogdanovich with a left hand.
First, he's one of the best three-point shooters in the NBA.
Bogdanovich in front of the Wizards bench for 3.
He shot 42% from three last season, 45% on corner threes. He averaged 18 points per game. After Victor Oladipo went down with a season-ending injury, he averaged 21 points per game for the Pacers, a playoff team in the East.
He's taking one shot.
He can also take guys off the dribble and finish strong at the rim. With Conley, Mitchell, and Bogdanovich, the Jazz now have 3 players in the starting lineup that can create their own shot. Bogey is also able to take advantage of mismatches by posting up smaller players. He moves so well without the basketball. Watch his movement on these plays and how it gives him open looks. All these offensive skills developed during 15 years of professional basketball.
You've been playing pro basketball since you're 15. I mean, what's it like? This is basically all you know. What's it been like, this journey, especially getting into pro basketball at such a young age?
I mean, it makes me to grow up so quickly. I left my home when I was 15, and this is gonna be like my first summer off since I turned a pro. So there's a lot of room for my game improvement, and I'm trying to get it this summer. I was surprised that everybody reached me out as soon as they released that I'll be the new Jazz player. That show me how great culture they build over there, and that togetherness is on a high level. We got pretty deep roster. It depends on the coach how he gonna play us, but I'm here to do whatever it takes to make my team successful.
Well, it was 20 years ago this week that the U.S. women's soccer team won the title in front of 90,000 fans at the Rose Bowl. Let's dig into the archive. The U.S. faced China in the 1999 World Cup final. No goals after 120 minutes. The match would be decided on penalty kicks. That's when Brandi Chastain got that goal with tied up 4-4 in the shootout. And then, of course, that iconic moment. She buried the PK and followed it up with that celebration that we won't forget. The 1999 World Cup was a watershed moment for women's soccer, and it had a massive cultural impact that is still felt today. So 20 years later, the team was inspired by the 99ers, and they brought home the World Cup title.
Yeah, no doubt. And I was there Wednesday in New York when they arrived, and what better way to welcome the team back than with a ticker tape parade in New York City.
3 Utah Royals players were honored along with the rest of the U.S. women's team for their victory at the 2019 World Cup in France. Like about Kristen Press, you got her jersey on. Is she your favorite player?
She's one of my favorite players. Krieger was my first favorite player. I don't know, I like her style. Yeah, her header was great.
Done! Go! It is Press on it.
Kelly O'Hara jersey, is there a reason? Is that she your favorite or just?
I don't know. She's been one of the players that she was in the last World Cup, and that's when I really started watching the team, and she's just been an inspiration all through their journey to this weekend's success.
The outpouring of love and pride for this team was abundant, not just for winning the championship, but also standing up for more equality in sports.
it's really inspirational seeing them because they are the superior team in the world and they're just not getting what they deserve. So seeing them pushing for that and getting young girls involved, it's really cool.
Co-captain Megan Rapinoe has been one of the most vocal members of the team in support for equal pay. She also left us with a message in her speech at City Hall saying that we all need to be better still.
We have to love more, hate less. We got to listen more and talk less.
Up next, we'll show you why Woody Harrelson made it in our great clips of the week, and he seemed stunned by it. And an Angel was in the outfield Friday night in Anaheim. The Angels' remarkable tribute to Tyler Skaggs. You don't want to miss it. He was a four-year letterman for the Utes in the early 90s, then became an accomplished litigator and trial attorney for 12 years. And for the past 8 years, the cornerback's coach at his alma mater.
But for the first time ever, Sharrieff Shah picks up the clubs in head-to-head showdown with KSL Sports' Tom Hackett on this edition of the Hallowed Grounds.
The Hallowed Grounds, brought to you by Siegfried & Jensen.
Welcome into this week's episode of the Hallowed Grounds. We're on the par 5 10th and special guest Sharrieff Shah. Sharrieff,
yes.
welcome.
Thank you, Tommy.
How you feeling?
Outstanding, brother.
Good. Okay, so this is how this works. First hole, we're playing for the $100 gift card to you into golf.
Big money.
If you win, you get to choose on the par 3 11th, I believe.
Okay.
Closest to the pin challenge for this $500 Bushnell rangefinder. You understand the rules?
I got it, boss.
Best of luck.
My man, let's do it.
No, I'm with you.
Why, you gotta be over there hanging out with me.
Do you rank the players you've coached?
I usually don't. There are attributes of each player that stand out far from another player. Like some people are faster, some people are stronger, smarter, more instinctual. You know, that I do all day long. But saying, oh, this player is overall number 1, overall number 2, no. Yeah, I stay away from it.
What's your number 1 saying? What do you shout at?
I can't say it because we're on television, but you know what I mean? Because you know me well enough.
Well, here's the thing. You'll shout, but you never make it personal.
No, never.
Which is important, right?
Never. You don't do that. You know, I think that you should coach your players very hard. You know, football's a tough game, and they need to understand that, but don't ever take personal attacks. Look at that.
There's a lot on the line for this par 3 now. BYU Utah, you excited?
It couldn't have been a better opener.
So the national media is talking about Utah potentially being a Rose Bowl contender.
Right.
And the local media, and I'm to blame because I'm a part of it now.
Yeah.
They're talking about how maybe this is the year BYU beats Utah. How does that work?
You just want your boys to be dialed in for this particular game because it's the first game.
Yeah.
More than anything.
First game's scary.
Exactly.
Scary game.
I don't care who you play. You need to get out there and put together 4 quarters of quality football because you believe that your opponent will. And in this case, we know that our opponents will. You just don't want to play tight in a game like this because it matters. I don't care what anybody says. I've played in so many of these games. I've been here for 30 years. This game is always fun, and I've loved it every year. I participated in it. I have dear friends on both sides. Half the coaching staff down there I know and absolutely love.
Right.
So.
Kalani's a good man.
Oh man, solid. Tuyaki, Fessy, so many of those coaches are fantastic people. Not just good people, great coaches too. Oh, look at that. Oh, this guy.
I don't know what we do now. I don't know what we do.
Oh my God. Look, that means I have to come back out.
I'll give you the $100 gift card.
The Lord knows I need it. Thank you kindly, sir.
And next time we come out, we'll play again for the Bush.
We'll do it. Appreciate it. Yes, indeed. Love it. Let's go.
Carl Serres here, PGA head golf professional here at Willow Creek Country Club. Why I got hooked to the game. My dad got me hooked to the game, as probably most of you. Played every night. We played into the dark hours. I remember at my golf course growing up, which was just outside Norwich, England, we had this 18th hole that was a elevated tee. It had a dog leg from right to left. It had a sloping fairway. And all we knew when we struck the ball was we saw the titanium strike. We saw the ball fly in for about a few inches, and then after that, we had to listen to hear if we heard the ball hit in the trees, if we heard it hit in the fairway, or if it hit in the water. That's the only way we knew where the ball was. Really, my passion as a golf professional now is to share that same kind of love and joy of the game with juniors growing up here at Willow Creek Country Club, get them inspired, get them playing, and hopefully get them hooked just like I am.
Hi, I'm Maddie. I work at Uinta Golf, and I'm one of the shoe experts here. We're going to kind of go over basically what we have here in our stores. We have great options for everybody, every type of golfer, every level of experience. We have high-end shoes that are great for waterproofing. Echo is one of our best when it comes to quality. Most comfortable, definitely high-end leather. So it's definitely our highest price point here in our shop, but it's a big seller. We absolutely love these. We also sell women's golf shoes. This is definitely our most popular women's golf shoe right now this season. It's lightweight, colorful, goes with every outfit. We have a range of every golf shoe. We also sell some with the replaceable spikes. This is probably the biggest decision golfers make when they come in to buy golf shoes, whether they want to go with more of a spikeless casual shoe or more of a traditional replaceable spike shoe. We definitely have a wide range of options for our customers, and it makes it really helpful because then you can always find the perfect shoe for you.
We want to give a special shout out to local golfer Steele DeWald, who has had himself quite a golfing season to date. DeWald won the Provo Open with a score of 12 under. He also qualified for the Corn Ferry Tour Utah Championship, in which he finished tied for 41st up at Oak Ridge Country Club. Congratulations! A look ahead now to some upcoming events around the state of Utah. The Men's Oaks Fiesta Days two-man best ball at the Oaks at Spanish Fork will take place on July 19th. The Women's Brigham City Open at Eagle Mountain Golf Course on July 20th. The Mixed Davis Heating and Air Cedar Ridge Couples at Cedar Ridge Golf Course will take place on July 20th through to the 21st. And finally, the men's two-man senior best ball at Talons Cove Golf Course will take place on July 22nd.
Great clips of the week.
Former BYU pitcher Taylor Cole and Felix Pena combined for a no-hitter on a night the Angels honor fallen teammate Tyler Skaggs, who passed away on July 1st, the 11th in Angels franchise history. Tyler's high school number, 11. The last time there was a combined no-hitter in the state of California, Orioles A's on July 13th, 1991, the day Tyler was born. The Angels scored 7 runs in the first inning, 13 total. Tyler's birthday is July 13th, 7/13. The Angels faced 28 batters less than 2 hours before Tyler's 28th birthday, and Mike Trout hit a home run 454 feet. Wild sequence of events on a night to remember for the franchise.
Well, we know Bryce Harper's got a cannon for a bat, but this weekend he also showed off his cannon of an arm from deep right field all the way to third without a hop. Ooh. Got it for the out.
Touchdown! There are some great center fielders in Major League Baseball. Byron Buxton of the Minnesota Twins is one of them. A diving catch, helping his team get a win in an important division matchup against the Cleveland Indians.
Where's his cape? All right, this here is a thing of beauty. Cubs shortstop Javi Baez with the diving stop, and in one motion flips with the glove to initiate the double play.
All right, the best play in Summer League basketball, no debate. Jackson Hayes, the New Orleans Pelicans rookie, with a devastating dunk. Sad to report, there were no survivors.
You know what? I will agree with you. In Wimbledon's doubles, I think Nicholas May, I think he's seeing double after taking the shot to the nether regions there. Woody Harrelson, he seems to have lost his breath as well.
I think Woody was just high, to be honest. All right, to soccer. This goal by Raul Ruidiaz of the Seattle Sounders is a work of art. It was part of the Sounders' 2-1 win Sunday over the defending MLS Cup champs, Atlanta United. That is what they call a golazo.
Outstanding. Jefferson Savarino, he was double trouble against Philly. Which was better here? His first goal? Or, I mean, look at that.
Tap. Look at the first goal.
And left boot into the net. Or the second one here from distance.
Jefferson Savarino! Goal! Which one was better?
That second one.
All right.
By far.
This is Josh Reeves of the Dallas Mavericks with a heave. He just heaved it at the rim with 2 hands, and it went in off glass. How about
like a
that?
soccer passing.
All right. We're done here tonight. Thanks for watching.